All right, a couple of days away from our matchup with the Titans, and Drew Petzing is out here talking out of his ass, man. But we'll definitely talk about it now. Welcome back to Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. Hit that sub, hit that bell, send that like. Let's get right to it. Like I said, Drew Petzing at his Tuesday press conference said stuff. He said words. He blurted stuff out. So let's unpack what offensive coordinator Drew Petzing said on Tuesday's presser. Right, tone first. Measured, steady, very on message. No panic, no finger pointing. Just evaluate, correct, and move on. If you were hoping for fireworks, you didn't get any in that presser anyway. But there were tells in how he framed the offense and how what he emphasized heading into Week 5. So Petzing kept circling back to a simple barometer. Did we score more than our opponent? It's a coachy answer, sure, but it reveals the lens he's using right now. Situational scoring over pretty box office totals, right? That drew some pushback, of course, from for being Atlanta specifics, right? Yet it's consistent with how this staff handles media. Keep it optimistic and non-revealing in public. Coach hard behind closed doors. Translation? Don't expect schematic confessions at the podium. And that's very much a JG, Jonathan Gannon, head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, philosophy. On execution, he acknowledged inconsistency without naming names, right? Protection calls, timing, run efficiency, stuff that, shows up on tape and everything. But he didn't torch the play sheet or his quarterback. He protected the huddle. That tracks with the broader building talking points down this week, of course, but problems are correctable, he says. Emphasis on details and communication. Sure, you're reading tea leaves here, but the staff believes alignment, literally at the line, will lift the run game and keep the pass game on schedule. So what changes on Sunday? If you believe what Drew says, all right, expect cleaner situational calls, more on-time first down runs, quick answers for pressure, and defined touches for the easy button guys. Petzing's comments and the week's messaging hint at a get-right plan rather than an overhaul. Think, like scripted rhythm throws easily or early, and a steadier run menu, and some formation answers to lighten the box. And it's not about reinventing the wheel or anything crazy. The theme was execution, not revolution. So, and the context, of course, helps in this, right? The Titans are arriving in a free fall. Their head coach publicly saying everything is on the table after an 0-4 start. That affects game flow and risk tolerance. If Arizona starts fast, Petzing can stay balanced and avoid desperation, that desperation hour that invites mistakes, right? On the other hand of it, right? Okay, look, let's just look at what we're looking at here. Control tone, clear belief, in execution, right? And not the change in philosophy is the fix, is what he's saying, right? A winnable setup in Week 5. If the Cardinals look crisp early, clean IDs, efficient runs, defined layups for Kyler, you'll know the messaging, landed with the players. If not, the calls for louder answers will only grow. And again, I'm going to stay bullish on this. I do not believe Drew Petzing is the guy to be offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't care if JG needs to take over play calls. If Week 5 against the awful Tennessee Titans is even a close game, you got to look at moving. You got to look at changing responsibilities. Bring in whoever. I forgot the name of the gentleman who's the pass game coordinator. Bring that guy in. Give him a shot. Can't be much worse than what Drew Petzing's doing, right? And I guarantee, and everyone, at least in stadium, right? I'm sure people at home agree too. But in stadium, every time there's a dummy call from Drew Petzing, you should hear the whole stadium go like, what? Like, it's almost like you can hear an audible what? Like, there's a reason the team got booed off the field last week against Seahawks. Bottom line, all right? And sure, it's execution and all sorts of stuff, but where does it start? On the offense, at least, in my mind, Drew Petzing. But we'll see what happens here. Now, is what I'm about to talk about a fix in that? No, absolutely not. But it's something we need to talk about because this is getting ridiculous, okay? All right. It might be because I'm tired of the media and football fans constantly going after a young man trying to make his dreams come true, but damn it, I won't keep standing on this hill. That a trade for Shedeur Sanders would be helpful for both the Cardinals and him. Let's get it. Let's talk about it. This week, Sanders made headlines again, not for his play on the field, because obviously he's not playing. But after the Browns named rookie Dylan Gabriel the starting quarterback over him, Sanders responded in kind of a bizarre way. And he mimed and lip-synced answers to the media instead of actually speaking. The clip went viral. The criticism came pouring in immediately. But here's the twist. As much as he's catching heat in Cleveland, I think a fresh start in Arizona could be exactly what he needs. So let's set the stage here. Shedeur Sanders sitting at QB3 on the Browns depth chart. The team passed over him, kind of technically, right? Actually, you know what? Technically not, because Joe Flacco was a starter, Dylan Gabriel was the backup, and Shedeur was the emergency, QB3. So he didn't really get stepped over, but he didn't even get. Seems like he didn't even get a look, right? So Veteran Joe Flacco goes, they replace him. It is what it is. He hasn't had good games at all. And that decision alone to put in Dylan Gabriel shows you where Cleveland's confidence level is at with their quarterback room. But instead of handling with a classic, team first answer, Sanders made a statement, literally without speaking. He lip-synced his way through a media session, refusing to give verbal responses. It was almost like a protest, and people kind of noticed. Actually, people definitely didn't notice. Former coaches and analysts lit him up. Rex Ryan called him embarrassing. Dan Orlovsky went in on him too. Dan, you can't say nothing, bro. When's the last time we saw a quarterback run out the back of the end zone? Don't throw stones, my boy. All right? But, basically they were saying, a quarterback is the lead even when things aren't going his way. Meanwhile, prime time, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and of course, Shador's mom as well came out and defended him, saying he's just handling the criticism in his own way. But let's be honest, in the NFL, optics matter. Right now, the optics aren't that good for Shador. Let's be real. So, now here's where the Cardinals come in. Arizona's seemingly in a transition period in a way, right? We got Kyler Murray as a starter, sure, and he's still the guy, but behind him, the depth chart isn't really inspiring. Jacoby Brissett, yes, great quarterback, great backup. Not a guy you want as your franchise quarterback, let's be honest. Otherwise, he would have stuck anywhere he's been. He's been everywhere. With James Conner out and the offense needing more playmakers, why not take a swing on a young quarterback with upside for at least the future, okay? For Sanders, a trade gives him a fresh start away from the Cleveland spotlight, which is hilarious that Cleveland has a spotlight, but, blame LeBron James. And where every mistake gets magnified, right? In Arizona, he can sit behind Kyler, develop in peace, and learn the NFL game without being asked to save a franchise right away. And the reason I say behind Kyler would be better, he already came out saying that he doesn't want to sit behind Lamar Jackson. Who does? If you're a quarterback that comes into this league and you go, yeah, I want to say behind the guy's probably going to play for the next 10 years and I'm never going to get a chance. Come on. You don't want to play? You're a young quarterback. You've been dreaming about this moment to get in there and get on the field and make some plays, and you're going to sit behind Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen? Come on. Can't do it. Can't do it. The situation he's in now is impossible because Cleveland clearly didn't want him. They basically said as much. All right, and now they're not even going to give him a look. We'll see how Dylan Gabriel does, but maybe he does bad. Maybe he doesn't do that great and they give Shador a look. Who knows? I kind of hope they trade him to us before that happens because the Browns, let's be honest, they don't make smart decisions really. Not that we're much better, let's be real, all right? But now with Monty in there and JG, hopefully we do. But anyway, on the field, Sanders actually makes sense for Arizona, right? He's taller. He can see over the linemen. Petzing's obviously needs that mobility and creativity and keeping defenses guessing. And Sanders brings those traits, sure, and doesn't move around as much as Kyler does, but he can move. He was prolific at Colorado, in my opinion. He can extend plays, and he did it. He had an awful O-line. You guys can say it all you want to, beat it down. That he was blaming his O-line. No, he was explaining what was happening. If you watch Colorado's games and you didn't go, man, that O-line is awful, you're tripping. You were insane, okay? I get it. They were talking a lot and selling this and selling that and didn't live up to it, all right? Okay, it happens. Relax, okay? The problem in Cleveland isn't the talent; it's the maturity, it's leadership and fit, and that it's Cleveland is a talent black hole in every sport possible. Like the fact that LeBron James made it out there is insane to me. In Arizona, Shador Sanders could be the backup. Learn from Kyler and grow into the role. No pressure to perform instantly, but the chance to show flashes when he gives the opportunity. For a guy trying to rebuild his image, that's perfect. Think of it this way. If we're already tired, people are already tired calling for Kyler Murray to get traded or get rid of him or draft somebody else or whatever. If you bring Shador Sanders, doesn't cost much, and you have a guy already built in to take over reins, and maybe it pans out. Maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, great. You guys were everybody was right about Shador Sanders. Dan Orlovsky and stand up with, oh yeah, I knew it was right. Rex Ryan can stop kissing toes and sucking feet and all kinds of crap. And be like, yeah, I told you I was right. I'm the old ball coach that can't get hired to be a head coach in the NFL anymore. I'm just messing with those guys, right? Except Dan Orlovsky. Bro, you can't talk. You ran out the back of the end zone, my guy. Stop it. But anyway, bottom line. Shador Sanders is in the middle of a controversy that's hurting his stock in Cleveland. As dumb of a controversy it is, he just didn't speak. He mimed it. Like, the kid is like, damn if he doesn't, damn if he does. If he says anything, everyone goes after him. If he doesn't say anything, like he did, everyone goes after him. Like, it almost feels like that classic shut up and dribble garbage that people were saying years ago. Like, let the man live. He's a young guy. I mean, it's hard to, it's really irritating, to see it, honestly, like to see people treating him like that. But either way, might end up being good for us. Maybe it his stock crashes enough in Cleveland that we just figure it, just throw a fifth round or throw a sixth round, who cares, and go get him. We'll see. Cardinals can give him space to develop, right? A decent environment to develop, some veteran help and all that, a system that fits his style, a chance to prove himself with that circus. For Arizona, it's low risk, low cost, high upside, right? In my opinion. For Sanders, it's a reset button his career desperately needs, right? And if we move on from Kyler Murray, again, it's a young guy you could already bring in while going to find somebody else that you might want. Best case scenario, turns out everybody was wrong. He's really good and he can be a franchise quarterback, right? I guess best case scenario. Worst case scenario, he is who everyone said he was, and we move on to a young guy. But let's be real. If Kyler doesn't pan out this year, which again, year 7, he should have panned out by now. But if he doesn't pan out this year and we're talking about moving on from him, what's the loss? What's the risk at this point, right? He don't cost much. Either way, let's get into my hot take, which is funny because that definitely sounded like a hot take. Let's get into my hot take of the day here. And this is definitely going to be a hot take to many around the league and our own fan base as well. But my mind, in week 4 against the Seahawks, I saw something we've been looking for this entire season. 4 games in, of course. Let me just say it right now. Marvin Harrison Jr. has arrived. Forget the slow start. Forget the early season jitters. Week 4 proved it in my mind. The Cardinals drafted his future superstar last year, and this wasn't just a nice game. This was the moment he flipped the switch. Sure, it happened in the second half and not much in the first. Of course, I fully understand that, right? 2 picks that you could definitely put on more on Harrison than on Kyler. But in the second half, he didn't just run routes. He owned them, right? It wasn't Kyler Murray throwing to him. That was one of the problems. But he bullied corners off the line, including Devin Witherspoon, one of the best young corners in the league. He made contested grabs, the one over Witherspoon for the touchdown, and showed the exact swagger we saw at Ohio State. You could feel it. Murray finally said, "That's my guy," and started feeding him like a true wide receiver 1. Why? That wasn't an accident. That was Marvin Harrison Jr. announcing to the league, "I'm here now, and you better game plan for me." People will say, "Oh, it's just one game." No, it's not. It's a trajectory changer. In weeks 1 through 3, he was adjusting the NFL speed in this early 2025 with an okay-ish and very much similar numbers of Larry Fitzgerald in his first year, numbers from last year. Okay, he looked like the best player on the field at times. And once a wideout proves he can do that, defenses panic. Right, roll coverage his way, fine. Kyler will trust him. Leaving one-on-one, good luck. Did it against Witherspoon again, right? This wasn't just a young receiver having a good day. This was a wide receiver 1 staking his claim. And here's a hot take. Marvin Harrison Jr. is already the most important player in the Cardinals offense, not named Kyler Murray and Trey McBride. Harrison changes everything. He stretches defenses. He opens up the middle of the field, and he gives Arizona a legit fear factor on the outside. So yeah, it's only week 4. But if this is the version of Harrison that sticks, the Cardinals don't just have a promising receiver. They have a future top 5 receiver in the NFL. Write it down. I said it right now. That's my hot take, folks. All right, I said it yesterday. I think it was Fridays is going to be it's going to be comment day. So let's go ahead and get into some comments here. All right, first, when there was a couple of you came up with some doozies here. So let's see how. All right, actually, I'm going to have to pull them up on my computer over here because I'm damn near blind. All right, here we go. It's not about old artists. It's about enjoyment. Talking about the halftime show. Kendrick has his issue with Drake. And if you're not into rap, you don't know anything about it. We want to enjoy the halftime show. Keep division out of it. Positive, good show would be great. Unity. Totally agree. Still, you're watching for the Super Bowl, right? No, and I'm saying, look, I agree with you. It should not be a division thing. Like, if you look at what's happening right now, the social media creates the division with this, in my mind, right? Because I don't think anyone's coming out saying, the NFL didn't come out like, how do we get these people to hate each other? I know. Like the intern in the back goes, I got an idea, sir. Put Bad Bunny in. It'll piss off everybody. Everyone gets mad about everything. And the problem with social media is that people that would normally not have an opinion on something suddenly are almost forced to have one. That's the way I see social. I think social media is the worst thing to happen to human beings in the history of existence. And I know that's an extreme thing to say, but I'm saying like, in the overall scheme of things, okay, let's just say it's one of the worst things that ever happened to people. Be real, okay? All right, this is the doozy one. This one made me laugh a lot. If we told a Mexican and black you don't understand, who cares? That would be wrong. But a lot of people get their rocks off for telling white people to shut up. I didn't say that. I said, if you don't like it, you can shut up. There you go. The last one was racist against white people. That's why they are upset. Kendrick? How is that racist against white people? Okay. Not because they don't understand the lyrics. What a dumbass thing to say. Well, you didn't even say why they were pissed. You came out angry with they don't understand nothing because they don't understand lyrics. It was racist against white people. You didn't even say why they were pissed then. Say it. Right? Like, why are they upset? You said the last one was racist. The last one was racist against white people. That's why they're upset. Say why. Because all you said was not because they don't understand the lyrics. All right? He goes on to say, I'm half Mexican, half white, and Mexicans have always been the most racist. My guy, I'm full Mexican. I'm not doing math with you. I'm not going to be sitting here and be like, oh, you're wrong, everybody's wrong. No, there's racist people everywhere. Okay? To say because you're not white you can't be racist is dumb and incredibly short-sighted. 100%. I'm not disagreeing with you in terms of you know, the racism thing, okay? At all. What I'm saying to you, and I'm not saying, okay, let me take that back. I'm not saying, the last year's was not racist against white people. I don't see where you came up with that. That makes zero sense whatsoever, and you provided zero examples. So your comment is moot at this point. It just looks like you're either trolling, or you just got mad about what I said, and you just threw that on there and said, all right, whatever, done, I win. Like, and I'm not even making fun of you, dude. Like, just come back and explain your point. I have zero problem debating it with you. That's all right. What I was saying is, if you don't like it, cool. I thought we watched the Super Bowl for football. Brother, if you want a concert, there's plenty going on all the time. I don't know what city you live in. If you live in Phoenix, there's concerts here all the time. You can go country, you can go hip hop, you can go pop, you can go everything. Have at it. I don't know about you. I watch Super Bowl for football. That halftime show, cool. Free concert. And if I don't like it, I don't care. I don't watch it. Watch the commercials. I'm, hanging with my boys, whatever it is. I have family over, whatever it is. All right, but to take it that serious is ridiculous by people everywhere. That's just the way I see it. All right, next comment here. But I do appreciate you commenting. I really do. I just wish you cleared your point, actually gave the reason. You gave like a half-ass debate there, sort of. So I would like to hear your full coherent comment. That'd be great. All right, I agree with picking up Zeke for now. He still has gas left in the tank, and his skill set will fit in with the Cardinals pretty well for this scheme. Not only that, he's able to catch passes if needed. Agreed. So I wouldn't mind if they picked him up for the rest of the season to be a temporary replacement for Connor this year. Exactly why I want to see him. Because it's not like we're gonna keep him forever. I think it's win-win, right? We bring him in, we get a starter level guy, big dude, just like you said, catch. He's a massive dude, and he's a good blocker, right? And he gets to get back on the field and show somebody he can still play, right? So yeah, I like your point right there. All right. This is such a blow. Let's see how the passing game looks forward. I was talking about Trey Benson going to the IR. Yeah, it's a super rough one. Super rough loss. Breece Hall, I like it. Me too. Imagine Breece Hall on this team. Ooh. Honestly, I'm really feeling Bam Knight. Sportsbooks have been drastically changing Sportsbooks have also drastically changed his lines. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a world, there's a mind, there's a thought out there that with how many injuries we're getting, can you have more injuries, right? Or Carter might slip, then Mercado might not do as well, and yeah, come on, Bam, get in there. He might pan out. Who knows? That'd be kind of wild. Last comment for the day. I like the idea of starting at third down back. We just got to dust out the playbook and play fast. Kyler has to weaponize his legs more and gain some respect from defenders like we drafted him for. I can tell he's conservative on them. And that began, in my mind, in my opinion, when he had got that non-contact injury, was it last year or the year before? Yeah, the year before. Or the year before that. I can't remember exactly. 2023, I think it was. But once a running quarterback gets hurt like that, he's going to think twice about running. That's just what it is. All right. Way over time, folks. I apologize for that, but it is what it is. Okay. That's going to do it for this episode of Cardinals Daily, folks. I'm Eddie Law. Don't forget to hit that sub, hit that bell, send that like, leave a comment. I'll see you all on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Football on Sunday. Whew. It's a big one for us. Go Cardinals.